At the bowling alley, Shay comments that she doesn't think they can win, but Charlie tells her not to worry. Then she takes off her shirt, revealing a toned body, and says she's going to get serious now. She asks the guy if he wants to start, to which he says yes and tells her to watch and learn. When he throws, Maddie leaves 2 pins standing. That excites him, and his partner comments that they are the best. Shay, for her part, thinks they're both super annoying and believes it's going to be frustrating when they lose. Then it's the redhead's turn, and when she throws, she knocks down 4 pins. That leaves Shay even more anxious as the total number of pins knocked down is 12, which makes her think they're in trouble. Both start saying they're the best and could never lose. But after seeing that, Charlie says it'll be easier than she thought. That leaves her partner speechless, thinking she's crazy. Even if they knock down all the pins, it would only be 10 in total, and she doesn't think Charlie can knock down even 1. She ends by saying they're screwed, but then asks if there's anything they can do. Charlie replies that no, that's not how scoring works in bowling. Still, she tells her to leave it all to her. She picks up a ball and throws it right away. She knocks down all the pins, evaluates her throw, and says it wasn't bad at all, then passes the turn to the other team. But it was useless because Charlie kept making strikes, ending in their victory. Maddie gets mad about it, thinking they were tricked, and tells his girl not to be upset. But the redhead just comments that Charlie is amazing and figures they now have to accept their punishment, since a true bowler never breaks their word. So they start sniffing jalapenos while Charlie tells them not to do it. After that, the girl calls Shay and apologizes. She says it was all her fault, that she got too competitive when they started trash talking. In the end, she thinks she ruined sexy bowling. Hearing that, the blonde looks at her crush and remembers her clearly. She replies that honestly it was way better than she imagined, and that she never thought bowling could be like that. She confesses that she already won something by playing that sport. She adds that watching her have fun, be cool and confident was amazing, and she thinks what she did was truly awesome. But then she looks at her again and thinks that really, seeing her act so firmly and defend her makes her wonder if that rebellious side is her true nature. She questions if maybe she could be a dommy mommy. She imagines her saying, "You've been a good girl." Just thinking about it makes her blush, and she realizes this is much more serious than she thought. Then Shay says they still have 1 game left, and that she has unfinished business. She still hasn't knocked down a single pin, but she warns that if she manages to do it, then Charlie has to do everything she says. That'll be her reward. Then she asks if she agrees. Charlie reflects that Shay hasn't knocked down a single pin all night and figures there's nothing to worry about. In the end, she agrees. Then Shay says she'll now use her final technique and throws the ball. The ball, by the way, starts bouncing off the lane bumpers until it finally hits a strike. That lifts the blonde's spirits while Charlie can't believe it. Shay drops to her knees and says she finally did it. She finally hit a pin. Charlie congratulates her, and her girl admits she was starting to think it was impossible. But the short-haired one asks what her punishment is now. Then Shay tells her to eat a napkin, making Charlie realize this is revenge. After tasting it, she comments that it's actually not that bad, and her partner tells her she should try it with ketchup. That's what she did. Then it's Charlie's turn, and of course she gets a strike. So she asks Shay to eat something. Shay asks if this is how it's going to be, while grabbing some ketchup, and her partner can't help but laugh. On Shay's turn, she gets a second strike, and as punishment for her partner, she slides an ice cube down her back. Both of them start playing and having fun with each punishment. That's how they spend the entire afternoon. Charlie confesses she had a lot of fun, and Shay says she did too, although she admits her sinuses still burn a little from the crushed jalapeno. Then they continue walking in silence for a few seconds. That makes Shay notice the vibe has gotten a bit weird, and she tries to say something, but Charlie simply comments that the weather's nice, to which her partner nods. In the end, neither of them knows what to say. The blonde thinks they've been silent for a few minutes and that it's getting kind of awkward. She thinks she's the worst and tries hard to come up with something to say or a topic to talk about. But after a few steps, she wonders why her mind is so blank, if maybe her brain has completely shut down. She looks at her for a moment and reflects that maybe she's totally ruining the date. She remembers how much fun they had, and now everything feels super awkward. She notices they're close to her house and can't let it end like this. She thinks Charlie must be hating this moment. But when she looks at her, Charlie smiles, making Shay blush a little. Then the short-haired one apologizes, says she doesn't know what to say, and that this must be super weird. But Shay replies, "It's not that," and assures her she's the same way. However, Charlie looks at the sunset and comments that it's beautiful. Shay agrees, but after looking at the horizon, she turns to her crush, happy they went out together. Later at night, they're in front of Charlie's house, and in that moment, Shay wonders what they're supposed to do now. She tries to keep calm, and after thinking it over, makes a decision. But when she looks at Charlie, she sees how cute she is and gets distracted, ending up just saying goodbye. However, before she leaves, Charlie seems like she wants to say something, though in the end, she also just says goodbye. A few steps away, Shay thinks about how cowardly she was, scolding herself that even if she didn't know exactly what to do, she should have done something. She gets mad at herself and turns around. Finally, she ends up hugging Charlie. She's a bit surprised by the gesture, and looking closer, she realizes how close they are, which makes her blush. Then the blonde pulls back a little and confesses that she had a great time and really hopes they can do this again. She also admits she loved seeing that confident side of Charlie and hopes to see it even more on a second date. She asks what she thinks. Then she says goodbye, saying she's heading out. That makes Charlie wonder if she's running away. Then she gathers her courage and yells at Shay to wait a moment. The girl stops, just to hear her crush say she still doesn't know what to say, but that she'd like to do it again and that she'll call her soon. The blonde is thrilled and tells her not to forget to write that message. After that, Charlie enters her house kicking the door, only to trip and fall on the floor. When her sister sees her, she comments that she made it back alive, to which Charlie replies yes, that she finally did it. She went on a date. Her sister asks how it went and if she had fun. She replies that yes, it was really fun, that they did a bunch of things, and that she thinks Shay is cute, cool, and fun. She thinks she won't be able to sleep all night, that her head is spinning because she's so happy. That's all the confirmation her sister needed, because now she's sure it all went well. Charlie confirms it, but then looks thoughtful, wondering if she accidentally ruined something. She wishes she could know what Shay's thinking if she did anything weird, but Annie replies that she's sure she did everything right. Meanwhile, Shay arrives at her apartment, and her roommate greets her and asks how the date went. Shay just says she's going to take a shower, which makes her roommate assume the date was a disaster. While brushing her teeth, Charlie flexes her muscles. That's when she gets a message and immediately assumes it's from Shay. And she's right, because the message tells her to look at the photo she took, saying she looks really cute in it. Charlie laughs a little when she reads it and replies that she's excited to take their second date to the next level. That leaves Shay completely blushing. The next day, Shay runs to find her friends. As she approaches, she tells them to stop talking and listen to what she has to say. She insists they pay close attention, but they keep chatting, so Shay demands they shut up and listen already. Finally, she announces she has big news, the biggest her group has ever heard. She declares that what she's about to say will blow their minds, that they'll laugh and cry. That leaves everyone intrigued, eager to know what it is. Then, with total seriousness, she says that she, Shay Jones, has done it. She has a beautiful girlfriend. I don't know about you, but I think it takes more than one date to say someone's your girlfriend. She adds that she has ascended, gone beyond mortal understanding. One of her friends congratulates her and asks if they can meet her. Shay, proudly, shows them a photo, and everyone nearby says she's really cute, and clearly lifts weights. The blonde starts a monologue, saying that ever since she was a kid, she had a dream that consumed and destroyed her inside. That every day she lost a little more sanity, and that dream annihilated what little humanity she had left. But in the end, she knew she couldn't give up, and that if she gave it her all, maybe something could change. And right now, at 20 years old, she has finally fulfilled that dream. That dream is none other than dating an extremely beautiful girl. She starts laughing, basking in her glory, though she's still not sure if it's fully confirmed. She's thrilled the date went so well and shouts that she already wants to go out with her again. That's how she says goodbye to her friends, saying they're going to have lunch together now, and she just wanted to brag a little. They congratulate her again and tell her to have fun. But before leaving, she calls her friend Danny because she wants to talk about something with her. As they walk together, her friend asks what's up. Shay asks if she considers herself a dating expert. Danny replies, kind of. And then Shay says she wants her opinion on some things because she thinks her date went well, but she really has no idea what she's doing. She doesn't know if she's going too fast or too slow. She's also not sure if she's texting too much or too little, and feels like she has no control over anything. She starts spiraling, saying it's all too much. Her friend stops her, calls her by name, and reminds her what she said before, that they're both new at this whole dating women thing. She thinks it'll be fine if they just communicate and figure it out together. As long as she's having fun and enjoying it, there's no problem. Because you really can't say she's doing anything wrong. In the end, Shay says Danny should teach motivation classes, to which she thanks her with a laugh. At another moment, Shay waits for her crush. She thinks she's going to have lunch with Charlie today, and she's super nervous about it. She wonders if she's waiting for her at the cafe, so she walks there and looks around, until she finally spots her. Then she calls out to her, but seeing her from behind makes her blush and thank the sweet, merciful muscle mommy. Right then, Charlie turns around and greets her.